Enzo. Oh, this is probably too long for a voice note.
Hey Claire, I know. Save it for the podcast.
Your space for an unfiltered and candid conversation.
Skip the small talk and dive in deep.
Hey, he's Enzo.
And she's Claire.
And this is Too Long for a Voice Note.
Welcome.
Welcome back, everybody, for episode 5.
Episode 5.
How are we? New mini season.
Now
How are you doing?
We're really good.
Yeah.
So happy. We're almost finishing
this
mini season.
I love this season. This has probably been one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I know you can't have favorites, but this is one of my favorites. I think.
All like your babies.
Exactly.
You can have a favorite. It's a really good season.
I really enjoyed this season.
Like we are so great.
Exactly. Like
I hope you guys are liking it as well, and thank you so much for checking it out. And
definitely new actual little admin thing just at the beginning. I know this is really annoying when people say this, but please do on your phone. We now have the ability to leave comments on Spotify, not on desktop, but on the phone.
Yeah.
So please do leave us a comment under the episode. Before we get started, so the question of the week, I was going to ask Enzo, what are you reading at the moment? We haven't discussed for a while.
I'm reading at the moment a book called The Act of Not Thinking.
Okay.
It's a Japanese book.
And what's it
from
about?
A Japanese author.
Okay.
And basically it's about
it's a Japanese book.
It's not like a Japanese I'm reading in Japanese. It sounded like I'm reading actually in Japanese. It's no.
How cool.
But it's a Japanese author. And it's really interesting because about it's a lot about being present and very it's very about mindfulness, very mindful, very demure. It's a very mindful and demure book, I have to say. But being present and how basically how maybe sometimes we are always thinking too much, overthinking too much, we're too connected, and how we need to ways to not do it. It's very Japanese.
Present, mindfulness. Okay.
Yeah. It's a really good book.
Would you recommend?
I would really recommend it so far. I'm almost towards the end. It's a really good book. It's very it kind of gives you good tips to kind of stop a bit the noise around you.
Very good. Thank you for the recommendation.
Thank you for asking me what I'm reading.
You're welcome. Well, it's my week this week, so ready for my topic?
Ready.
My topic. So,
tell me why
ain't nothing but a heart. Tell me why. Anyway, so this is kind of, you could call this chitty chatty, maybe. I have different options of different ways that I don't really know how you're going to react to this, so we can see kind of how it's going to go.
Okay, cool.
So
let's go for it.
I'm gonna
excited.
Grab the laptop.
Oh,
because I have something.
It's serious when someone grabs
grab the laptop. Let me grab the laptop and then we can discuss my topic. I haven't even said it yet. I haven't revealed it. The suspense. I don't even know what we'll call this episode yet.
All right.
But my kind of topic is, are you in love or are you codependent?
Ooh, whoa. It's happy Thursday morning,
Happy
everyone.
Thursday morning, guys. So I wanted to talk a bit about this because I follow this woman on Instagram. Cool. I was going to maybe not bring that back. I think it's fine. It's no shade to her at all. Her name's Gabrielle. I think she's the French woman. Do you remember? She has endometriosis, bless her.
Oh yeah, the
exactly.
really pretty
She's
woman
beautiful,
with a really
stunning
husband. Yeah,
yes,
the
and
perfect couple.
I followed her because she has endometriosis. That's why she got recommended to me. Now she has 2 gorgeous kids, amazing, all lovely. So she has this. She's French. The husband is Italian. So it's funny with them. I really like her account and all of this. I think they seem very, very in love, but it also seems on the edge of kind of codependent. And I don't know if this is coming from me. I just really wanted to unpack this whole thing in general. And I was wondering if maybe we will talk about attachment styles. I was wondering if maybe we'll talk about PDA and how we display our relationships on social media. I don't know. But to give some examples of captions.
She inspired you for this. So
she inspired me, but in a negative way.
Which is fine.
I don't want to be mean because no shade to her. She's a gorgeous woman, all really, really sweet.
We don't know what's going on, but clearly it makes you think.
It makes me think, and it's quite maybe a different style to my own. So maybe that's it. But
interesting. That's
some
cool.
examples of captions that she'll use with the husband. The husband's in nearly every post, by the way.
All right. Okay.
But for example, she would put better together as the caption, or sorry,
we're going back to cringe episode link here.
Forever 2 kids deeply in love, choosing each other every day. So it's this kind of vibe.
Okay.
So that's kind of it. That's kind of my topic.
Okay.
Inspired by this lady. And what do you kind of think about this initially?
Before I make any opinion about it, obviously I think when you follow someone for a really long time, you kind of like, you get a bit more of like how they are, right? Because it's so long you've been following their relationship, so kind of like you feel like you get it. But is there something that they normally do apart from the captions that makes you feel they're really like codependent of each other or something like that?
I think that maybe she features him a lot. Like, I think it's like every other post, he's there. And I understand that that's also a brand because she's selling this, like, you know, gorgeous Italian husband ideal. And, like, they live in Milan. She posts in Italian. Like, you know, she's French, but she obviously speaks like fluent Italian.
That's really good, yeah.
I don't know. I think they're kind of selling this whole aspirational European money, fashion couple thing.
Now it's feeling like it's like a brand, basically.
Kind of. So I wonder if that's kind of what it is. I do genuinely think that they're really in love. Who the hell knows on Instagram? Who that, you know, whatever. And this is something that I found from a little bit of research as well, is that sometimes, like, why do people show their partners so much? Is it to try to kind of hide something else? Don't know.
I think when social media started, it kind of, I feel it was more natural to have this type of displays, because I think we didn't know. I mean, the language back in the day when social media was new was a bit different. We're trying to find the language, and maybe people were, you know, I think even if we go back to our Facebook posts when we were like younger, when we started, we were really like maybe emotional. We put a lot of information. We were like, oh, my little friends, I love them so much. Which is something that type of language has changed over time. But and now, like, maybe we have more, the way we speak or we post is more like trends or whatever. It's the way of speaking at the moment going. But I feel like sometimes, I think it's kind of weird when you see like maybe couples are still using this. I feel like it's a bit like old school a bit.
I know what
That's
you mean.
what it made me feel.
Maybe.
Like, it's a bit like Instagram for 2010 to put like, oh, you're my better half. Because I think, like, I don't know if this is good or bad, but made me feel like nowadays we're so hyper aware of everything. We're like woke, like air quotes of everything, that it feels just a bit weird to like all those like disclaimers about your partner, like, you're my better half, you're the blah 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 blah, or you compliment me, you make me feel whole, and all these things. I think they feel a bit, I don't know, I mean, all these things that could be true, but they feel a bit unauthentic when you put it in the context of social media.
But speaking a little bit about PDA, or public displays of affection, and specifically online and about social media. So I was reading this article, I'm going to link it below. So it says, does PDA tell us anything about a couple's relationship? Are they, say, happier and more secure in themselves than people who don't? And the psychologist says, generally no. All it tells us is that they prefer to show affection physically. Of course, it's pretty well established the couples who display extreme affection online via social media tend to be more insecure. So that's quite interesting to note. They're seeking external validation, whereas couples who feel more secure in their relationship are not. They're too busy living in the moment to update their status. So some reasons why people might be really showing off their relationship on social media can be like self-esteem, relationship security, or relationship insecurity, attention seeking, reinforcing the bond, support and celebration. So it can be lots of different things. So I think it was making me reflect on how I share my own relationship on social media. I was wondering about you as well, like how you show your relationship on social media. And if we want to go into like attachment, because I think there is something about attachment style here. A little bit as well, but maybe it's literally nothing more than a brand. Like, maybe this lady has made a choice to kind of use her husband to kind of create a brand identity, and they have that's a really good point. I think, like, I don't know if that's the problem, but this thing with influencers, because there are people that clearly they're influencers, they influence on other people, and even the way they present their life, it's a brand. Probably they sat, I'm assuming, to create this. I don't think this is just naturally happen now. So how do you think, if you're comfortable sharing,
I am not
sharing, how do you think how does this like topic like relate for you in your own relationship, or in your dating in the past, or in your relationship now?
I do feel I'm not super affectionate or like really showing my relationship on my socials.
Why?
Not even that much with my friends, I guess. I don't feel like my friends are all the time on my feed, or I mean I'm doing now more like photo dumps, like dump with a lot of people that are my friends, but I'm not like necessarily like, I don't do a post for my friend's birthday all the time, you know. I don't think, for
the
example,
story, like that
the story,
kind of,
like, oh, happy birthday, I love you so much. I don't know. I don't know why I don't feel it's my style, but maybe again, it's like.
What do you think that is?
I express it in another way. Maybe I don't think I need to like make a quote with like I don't know. I feel like that's very. I don't know why I feel like it's so like 2010.
Interesting.
You know, it's something I feel like weird to do nowadays. I feel maybe
Yeah.
because I feel reassured enough that I do it on my own, let's say, real life, and I don't share a lot of like my partner on Instagram. And
But you do share your boyfriend on Instagram.
I share photos of him on the
stories.
But I don't create like a post for him like happy anniversary, you're the light of my life. Well, I mean, he is, but you know what I mean.
Exactly.
I don't need to put it, and he's but also that. I think the other side also plays a big role there.
Definitely, of what the partner expects.
Because he's expecting that he will die if I do it.
Exactly.
And I'm happy that it's like that, because he's expecting for me to post a photo of him saying like, how he has changed my life and make my days better, you know?
Because I wonder if sometimes people are posting their partner so much because they're trying to like ward off. Maybe that's me being very untrusting, but sometimes are they like doing it to be like, I'm in a relationship, or like back off. Like he's mine. Do you know what? Peeing the territory kind of thing.
Yeah. Have you done
sometimes?
Do you feel
what like
that?
pee the territory kind of thing?
Putting like a photo of Jorge in the Instagram. I have a boyfriend.
I think I definitely, because I think with Jorge I did a soft launch. I think I literally did like a hand, and then I think I did boom. Him making me a tortilla was the first one.
That's a really good move. It's like he's making a tortilla.
Exactly. I think I was like, I'm proud, you know, kind of thing. Like, I'm kind of proud. And then somebody becomes a part of your life. So obviously you're going to show them. Yeah. I think I have a fear of showing him too much because I think that's a bit cringe. Yeah. So, but I've never done it to like, I don't think I've ever done it to like mark my territory or to say I have a boyfriend. But I would, because I do post a lot, and I think you do post a lot as well. I think it would feel weird if I never posted him.
Of course.
Because my Let's Be Claire is quite like lifestyle, like my life kind of thing. It's not so like a specific, like on other accounts, of course, like you don't really focus on any of your friends or your partner or whatever, but naturally I think he'll
Why do you think you felt proud about that? Like, what do you think about like maybe having a relationship, you make you feel proud of it, and then you makes you post more about it or talk more about it? That's a really
good question. I think I just like, I was and am just like really happy with Jorge. So I think I was just like, oh, I have this amazing boyfriend and I'm really like happy and in love, and I'm happy to share that because I think he's amazing, kind of thing. Yeah.
That's interesting, because I think like I know like sometimes we may criticize, or maybe we'd be like, oh, people post other people too much, or blah blah blah. But I think there's two sides, right? There's one side of it that's like, oh, I'm really happy that this other person is part of my life and makes my life better. That's why I'm sharing it. And then there's the other side, which is like, oh, I'm so insecure, I need validation, and I need to show that that person is with me and show that my life is okay. I don't, you know, like it could be like two sides of it, which is like blurry.
And I think it's funny, and it goes to that thing of like when somebody breaks up, or like a public figure breaks up, and people like cannot believe that they have broken up. And once again, not to always bring J-Lo up into this, but it was funny because she popped up when I was doing research for this. Because do you remember when she launched Ben Affleck again? It was that picture of her on the boat, like looking amazing body, and then you swipe and then it's them kissing. Do you remember that was how she launched? And once again, I think there's always been a criticism. Now obviously they've broken up, but that she was always very over the top, displaying the affection and like how passionate they are, how in love they are. She made a whole bloody film and then documentary about their love, and they've gone on to like have what looks to be quite like a bitter divorce. So that is like, were you doing that to show how happy? Like, I wouldn't be surprised, I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised if this girl that I mentioned at the beginning, if they divorce.
Yeah, I know what
because
you mean.
when it's like too much.
Yeah.
But then once again, it's like, always with this sort of thing, it's like we don't know anything. You really don't know unless, hopefully, with your friends that like, okay, it wasn't a surprise to me that they broke up because I kind of knew that was happening and blah, blah, blah.
In your research, what type of attachments do you find?
So you mean like attachment styles?
Attachment style, yeah.
So you want to talk about the attachment
Yeah,
styles? I'm going to grab the
unless
laptop.
you want to talk
I'm going to grab
something
no.
else, you're like, yes. Just curious, yeah.
Okay,
So I found attachment styles very interesting. I think
I don't know. I can't remember if we spoke about this before, but I'm just wondering if this has something to play with its attachment style. So, if for anybody listening, if you don't know what an attachment style is, attachment styles form when we're still babies. Attachment theory tells us that the emotional attachments we form with our primary caregivers in infancy can influence our interpersonal relationships later in life. So there are actually 4 attachment styles. Mm-hmm. So the first is anxious, so clingy and a fear of abandonment, avoidant, difficulty expressing emotions, tends to emotionally withdraw, disorganized, has characteristics of both anxious and avoidant styles, and also a fear of rejection. And then you've got secure, which is healthy communication style, able to ask for help when needed.
I haven't heard about them before, but I think I haven't really hear
in
them
detail.
Or in detail again in a really
So
long time.
which of the 4 would you say you are?
I think...
Or should we do each other? Shall we? Shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we to cause drama?
Yeah. Let's start this. Yeah.
So I think you're avoidant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you have the more like, I don't find you very anxious. And I think you're probably avoidant secure, to be honest, because I think you're quite good with your emotions. I think if you have anyone, then you would be a bit more, that's a bit like maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think about yourself? Would you agree?
I think, let me say first yours. I think yours is like secure, but anxious as well.
Yeah.
I think that would be yours.
Yeah,
Do
definitely.
you agree? Do you agree?
I actually think I think I've actually got more of a mix of avoidant and anxious, because I think definitely anxious is like, the reassurance seeking and stuff. But I actually have a tendency to withdraw from people emotionally when things get like too much, I think, or if I get disappointed in someone, then I literally feel like a slug, like, or like a little thing going away in the shower, and I find it so difficult to like stay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So what about for yourself?
I do feel like I have a mix of all of them.
Yeah, which most people do, by the way, to say, like, we all have a mix of different ones. Yeah.
I do feel like during my adult life, I've been like working towards to have less characteristic of some of them.
Okay, interesting.
Like, I feel like nowadays I'm more secure.
Yeah, you're very...
and I try to withdraw a bit less. That's something I think I'm always working on. Like, being communicative and try to like not close off, blah, blah, blah. So I think, I feel like, I guess it's like a good thing. I guess when you get older, right, you start knowing more yourself, and hopefully you will try to like totally like shut down a bit
to get to secure, basically. But you think your natural one is avoidant, like your natural...
I think quite avoidant, but also secure, I think.
Yeah, you're quite level-headed with the emotions, I think.
Yeah, I think...
Anxious? Have you ever felt... I mean, of course you felt anxious about things, but...
Give me an example how it will be like...
Like, if you feel that your partner is withdrawing, do you think you would react like, by the way, I feel like you've been a bit distant recently. Can you please tell me, is everything okay?
Yeah, I think I will think about it, but I will withdraw as well.
That's interesting.
I think nowadays, maybe if it happens to me, I will do it differently.
Like try to bring it up. Like
I will take all the energy from myself to be like, okay, let's do it. But I think now I can be self-aware that that's what I need to do.
Interesting. But it takes,
in the past I would just withdraw as well. Like if you're withdrawing, I will withdraw. So that would be like fucking hell, that's not really...
That's interesting.
That's not really like positive place to be in a relationship for sure.
No.
Any.
Do you think that you have the same emotional response to a romantic relationship and a friendship?
That's a good question, actually. I do think they are probably quite similar. I feel. I do feel. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm that different in my romantic and relationships. I don't think I'm that different in that way.
Yeah,
I think it's quite similar. What about you?
Interesting. I think I can be more withdrawn and avoidant with friendships. I think I can have a tendency to, definitely pull back. But I could do that, like, I can do that in romantic relationships as well. But I think I can get more anxious with romantic, and that's been like a lot of work that I've done in therapy of like not needing to like seek endless reassurance that somebody still is there. It's more about like when you say like bringing yourself to confront the emotion, mine is like to be able to reassure myself. That's my journey. I think
that's quite interesting.
So it's, and how do we think these styles would like reflect on like how
media.
we show on social media?
Wow.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I think like that. I feel like, I do feel the more secure you are in your relationship, maybe the tone of what you show in social media change as well.
Right.
You know, and that's what I feel, going back to what we're talking at the beginning about the captions and like the type of content that we post and like the romantic quotes and all of that. I think maybe the more secure you are, the different the message is.
Yeah, because maybe you don't need to show it as much.
And probably you don't need people telling you, oh my god, you're the perfect couple, oh my god, that's so beautiful, oh my god. I think a lot of people, I'm not saying this is bad or wrong, good or bad, it's just I think some people, they need to have the reassurance from other friends or like others saying like, oh my god, you're the perfect couple, oh my god, that thing that you post that really is really beautiful, blah blah blah. They need that more like constant, like
very
often.
Interesting. I think one thing with JLo is I think she kind of shot herself in the foot big time, because I mean, we watched that film. It was so unhinged. I mean, we loved it, but it was like very unhinged in a lot of ways. And I think it was so, everything is so perfect. And like, this is the relationship that I was always meant to be in. It's sad in a way when you think about it, because it's like, obviously their problems were starting then. So it's kind of like, I wonder what she was going through to make such a kind of unhinged
and to be honest,
move,
like, they did those movies together. So they're both very unhinged. Like Ben Affleck is the producer of that in the documentary.
It's so rogue.
So imagine how unhinged the both of them they are. Like, I mean, we say unhinged. I mean, it is a bit unhinged. It's just weird because I guess imagine they're working on a project like that together.
Yeah.
And they are like giving the reassurance to each other that are perfect for each other all the time.
Yeah.
And then it happens that maybe they're not, because look, they're not together.
And it was like 2 years they were together. And I don't know, it's just and I think maybe like to bring it back to the like beginning example of I think that's of that girl on Instagram, that's what I'm kind of feeling. And it's like, but then I think we're in a difficult point with social media again, because it's sort of like you have these accounts that are extremely authentic and people showing like themselves crying or like the really real thing, or then you have this kind of glossed over perfect thing. And like neither is definitely, I think maybe with social media in general, which we should have always done and which hopefully we're at now, maybe of our generation, I'm not sure how it is for like the younger generation, but it's always that thing of like, even if you see that it's perfect, know that they've got problems as well. And that's the thing, like even if somebody has like a perfect body or whatever, know that they have like problems as well. And it's sort of like that sort of thing, maybe.
It's complicated, I think maybe it's part of avoidance as well from our, like, I don't know, like, it's hard, but I think maybe some people, they prefer to avoid some bits of reality, so they prefer to have that portrayed and consume that, and others, they just want to have the real, like,
this is how it is, and
blah, blah. So I guess it's a matter of
taste and preference
as well, which is very interesting.
I think also just to say, like, I'm going to be really real and like savage.
Let's be real.
I do find it quite cringe when people overpost their partner. You have to tell me if I overpost Jorge, because I find it like, I can think of like a couple that we know that they really overpost and we laugh about it daily because we find it really cringe. Is that us being little bitches? Probably, because it's nothing. It doesn't really bother us at all. But are they okay? Like, I always wondered that. It's just like, I don't know. That's a funny one, but I think also depends on the personality. I think we're a bit cynic and a bit like, it's true, dark tendencies to dark humor and being a bit more like, what the fuck, guys, what the fuck, war. So I think that's why maybe for us it's a bit funny, because you may post your boyfriend, I may post mine, but it's not like a constant activity that it's part of, like, you know, I can check your stories and probably
Jorge won't be there for like a week of his stories.
Exactly.
You know, and it's fine. But
exactly.
I think it's a funny one.
A whole thing.
It's a whole thing, yeah.
But I mean,
I do find it really funny when people posting too much of the partners on things. It's like, I just feel it's individuality. I think we spoke about this before, but kind of like, I feel like when it's your account or it's your Instagram, it's your WhatsApp, it's whatever, I just feel like you should be you. It's your profile. It's good to have bits of the rest of people that are part of your life. But
totally.
having like a profile photo with someone else is weird. That's like another topic.
The profile
That's
pic
profile pic, for example.
That is weird. I find that
like,
weird.
Imagine you go to WhatsApp and it's like 2 people in a photo. It's like who I'm talking to. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a joint chat. Like, you know, like that's strange, and I find that really creepy.
I do find that a little bit odd
creepy.
as well.
It's just hard.
I think that, to be honest, I think I'm going to add a truth bomb here. I think for both of us, I think we're a bit scared of losing independence in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I think for me, that's like my fear.
Yeah,
one of my fears
100%.
in a relationship. It's like, like I love Jorge, like I love building a life with him, all of that. But I'm also me. Exactly. But I'm also myself. And we have, I want my friend. Like, do you feel that?
You're totally right. And I think, again, it comes down to personalities.
Definitely.
I think some people, they need to feel like more as a unit in a relationship to kind of like feel secure and happy and all of that. And I think for us, for the relationship to work, we need to feel like we have an independence.
Totally.
Like, I need to be myself to be with yourself.
Yes, definitely. Room to breathe.
Together. Room to breathe. For other people, there's nothing. And I think that goes back to maybe also to close the cycle of why people post too much of partners, why they share the profile pictures, why they put the captions with the quotes from the book.
Exactly. And the attachment style, it probably goes back to that as well, of how you are in the relationship.
How much you need space for yourself to be in a relationship. So that's like an interesting one.
Thank you. This topic flew by for me.
Me too,
thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. And for everybody, exactly, because there's so many different ways to go about it.
Yes.
For everybody watching, please drop a comment.
If you're sharing your partner too much, please stop now.
Block. We're going to hard block. But let us know what you think about this. Is this something that you've thought about? How do you share your partner on social media? Let us know.
Because
do share. But guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.